Hello, YouTube channel. Welcome to my channel. Addiction. Addiction has been defined as being addicted to a substance, action, or a thing. I remember at the beginning of my journey and of my recovery, I thought addiction was just meant a person that used drugs. They were titled as an addict. I didn't think of anything else but that. I got out of treatment. After I got out of treatment, I had some days with my sister at her house. During that time, her husband asked me to go with him to the bar. I said, well, I don't drink no more. He said, no, I'm just going to get something. I'm going to get me some beer. So I said, okay. So as I walked in the bar and I looked around and I started walking back by the pool table with him, I noticed a change in me. I felt something. I felt that hook come back in my arm. Back in the days when we was trying to be cool, we had to put a little hook in our arm and a little stroll. And I just felt something in there. And when I got outside, I realized that the behavior that I hadn't worked on yet, even though I had got out of treatment, came right back when I put myself in that atmosphere. Gave me a true meaning of what they mean when they say people, places, and things. And here I thought that all of those things, how I act, how I talked, how I dealt with people, had to do with the use of drugs. But once I stopped using the drug, I started really understanding what addiction was about. Back then they had Blockbuster, and I would go to Blockbuster and I would get 3-4 movies that I hadn't seen before, because when I was using drugs, I didn't go to movies. So I would get those movies and I would come home and I would watch all of those movies, like 10 hours of movies, and it took like an hour to rewind. And at that time, I wasn't going to any meetings. Stopped going to my groups. Stopped going to my outpatient. And I was just rewinding these movies and taking them back to the store the next day. And as I would take it back to the store the next day and put them in the lady's hand, telling myself that I wasn't going to rent any movies that night, on my way out, I looked on the shelf and saw a movie I didn't see before. And right then and there, I was reminded that that's the same thing I used to say when I was using drugs. When I would get up in the morning and I would say, I'm not going to get high today. And I would try to go on that day under my own will and not get high today. I remember a guy telling me something about willpower. And he told me, if you think you got willpower, eat a box of X-Lax and try not to go to the bathroom. I always liked that. Addiction is not just the use of drugs. It's a small symptom of my disease. Because I can lose the ability to start. I can start something and use the ability to stop doing it. And I can't stop on my own. Then I could be becoming addicted to it. It could be gambling, it could be movies, it could be sex, it could be anything that I cannot stop on my own free will that I need help with. So I understand today that on a daily basis, I need help with my addiction. I understand that I need the help of a sponsor and a support group and to attend meetings and to do the things I need to do. I understand I have to work 12 steps. I understand that I'm powerless over my addiction, and as a result of that, a lot of times in my life, things have become unmanageable. And I have to use those steps on my day-to-day living today in order to stay clean. If you're brand new and you're just starting out in recovery and you don't know what to do, the first thing you must do is stop. You have to stop and allow yourself the privilege of thinking and then make some decisions to do something about it. Because once you stop, you have to do the things in order to stay stopped. If you like this video, subscribe to my channel. Hit that like button on your way out. I will be bringing some more content. I've just started 2 weeks ago, so I'm still new at this. I'm trying to find my niche on what I want to do my videos about. But as of right now, like I said in my profile, I'm going to start out by helping people, and wherever that goes, it goes. So you guys have a good evening.